The Hades main jingle telegraphs the full arc of its story. Beasts of the underworld pulling you down, a spirited attempt up, and the inevitable descent back to the sticks to return home. We'll be connecting future tracks to this main motif frequently, especially this major 3, a beacon of stubborn defiance hope throughout, so keep it in mind. But the bigger focus today will be on the Supertonic, which is a fancy name for the 2. In this main jingle, it's a minor 2, and this version of the Supertonic is so abrasive that it isn't even featured in the normal major or minor scales. In the major scale, the major 2 is the re of the do-re-mi you know about. Converting this to a minor scale involves knocking each of these notes down a notch, but see how the major 2 actually remains in place? The minor 2 is so hardcore, it's not even allowed in the regular minor scale. You'll need to plow deeper into the underworld to find that. Because you see, the major and minor scales are only 2 of the potential 7 scales embedded in the default key signature. So by placing them in context on a scale of friendly to stern, let's bring in the remaining 5. As you can see, if you're looking to score a minor 2, you've got to go to the deepest 2 underworld layers, Phrygian and Locrian. You almost never see this lowest one, Locrian, in use because of its tritone in place of the 5. So for a lot of Zagreus's adventure, we're either going to get the minor 2 or no 2 at all. The major 2, meanwhile, occasionally appears in select moments, especially when there's an ally in the mix. But when you set out from your dad's house, you are completely alone, with no 2 to even speak of, just stubborn hopes of escape at the major 3. Zagreus's path ahead is clear enough in his mind, cutting through the minor key to outline a full major triad at the song's loop. But to get to that supertonic note of 2, it's gonna have to be the painful way, of the Phrygian variety, played most excellently on guitar as hammer-ons, as depicted in this cover. Chromatically transposing this motif to the 5 moves that 1 semitone hammer-on to the native diatonic 6th. And back on the tonic, if there's any doubt about what the key of this song is, listen to this walk up and back down the scale, with the minor 2 included. Sometimes a music theory tuber will omit this kind of blatant stepwise motion to and from the tonic in order to support their epic new thesis, in a bid to win over the audience's interest and approval. But not here in the Alex Yard Zone, baby. Now the first time you fight Meg, it's quite daunting. Lots of players have traded war stories about how overwhelming this fight was starting out. So that's why the first time you defeat her to advance to Area 2, it's such a massive deal that the major 2 appears, as part of a pattern that sends momentum through the minor 3 into the major 3 that we spotted back in the main jingle. The Stubborn Defiance Major 3. The clouds clear and the light dawns. The soundtrack's use of this Major 3 carries Zag's determination to ignore all the banners that clearly communicate that there is no escape, allegedly. Cuphead's Cactus boss has a similar moment, slipping from minor 3 to major 3, with a major 6th constant held throughout both. In Hades, the solo Euridice song opening bars are tuneless, with her disembodied harmony line above the absent Orpheus. But with this power couple reunited, Orpheus brings us the two right away. So naturally, you get a much more prominent major 2 back at the home castle, where Dusa, Hypnos, and the gang's all here. Listen to Orpheus sustain this gorgeous major 2 during the chorus. Now you would think this long-held supertonic note of 2 would be on top of a 5 chord, the go-to for a stirring chorus, but it's actually a 2 chord as a major triad. Using the supercharged supertonic chord in a minor key song is not even a thing that happens in any of the minor modes. To get a singer this incredible for Orpheus vocals, you'd think they'd have to fly to a conference and select from the best in the world. So you should know that this is the voice of Hades composer Darren Korb, lead composer and voice of Skelly.
Oh yeah!
Yeah!
You got it.
You got it.
He does the voice of Zagreus too, who you play as. He is the man. So in his legendary soundtrack, today, I'm not telling you Darren's specific intent or anything, the one true interpretation, just what I subjectively experienced, quantified in music terms, as everything culminated in the final boss fight. Building on the themes established by the main jingle, Zagreus is making one final bid to escape, motivated by the chance to hang out with his mom. But if the attempt from below fails, phone a friend from Mount Olympus above. And how do we know the Olympian phone a friend worked? It's because the minor to major 3 path returns, but in this final bout, it descends onto the major 3 from the sus4 above. This video will now conclude with a field mission. Music theoreticians worldwide, the question for you is it Locrian? If we tunnel vision on this crunchy guitar that plays after Hades and Zeus collide, is it in the Locrian mode or not? Locrian is the 7th mode we saw earlier at the deepest layer of the underworld, and you can see that flat 5 in place of the perfect 5th, which means the tonic chord is a dissonant diminished triad, the sort of chord that typically propels you somewhere else rather than serving as home base. Have at it in the comments, music theory debaters. I'll be busy trying to beat the game on 32 heat with the spear, because I've already beat the game on 32 heat with the shield and bow. In the name of Yod. See you next time.